Hello! I'm back. I'm wearing the same shirt. And I wanted to wait a little bit, let this one particular manga, as you can see, Battle Royale, Volume 1. I wanted to let it ferment in my mind a little bit more, but damn, I wanted to go ahead and get to it because I finished it. And I'm like, let me think about it. Let me see, is this what I'm having issues with? This is what I'm liking. This is what I'm not liking about it. And I let it ferment for a few minutes, and then I'm like, gotta get it out. I have to give you my opinions. And like I said, Battle Royale Volume 1 with the worst fucking cover you could ever put on something. I mean, this tells me nothing. I mean, I can tell you who wrote it and who did the art for it. I can tell you shit from this cover. I can't even tell you who the main characters are. Though this is a book that many say that, oh, what's her name? The lady who wrote the Hunger Games series. I actually like Hunger Game books. I think I might have did a review or two of them. But if not, I know I've did written reviews of them. Suzanne Collins. Sorry, I don't know why. Name escaped me. A lot of people say, oh, well, she's totally ripping it off. I'm going to go ahead and be one of those that, yes, I read the Hunger Games first, watched the movies, and then I read this. I do know there is a movie based on this. And I'm going to say the similarities between the fact that it's teenagers that are pretty much participating for entertainment, that is about the long and short of the similarities. Beyond that, there's very little, at best, maybe superficial similarities between the two. And I'm going to just dive right into it. I knew that Battle Royale was a tough book because it's meant for mature readers. I mean, hell, right here on the back, Mature M. I mean, it's meant for people who are 18 or older. I do also like the other one. Are you 100% authentic manga? Like, is there like 75% semi-authentic manga? What the hell? Is that like the original Inuyasha books? Because they were actually, they read like normal books to us Americans. I don't know. So, I knew it was it was going to be bloody. I knew it was going to be violent. It was going to have teenagers doing stuff for reasons. And I gotta say, I don't like it. I can't get into the story. First off, the world build-up for Suzanne Collins' Hunger Games book, it's, I will say, like, that's even right there a massive difference between these two. This one just pretty much like, hey, we live in a despotic society in a way. We are under the control of this one group, I guess. And they make people watch these uber, like, carnage-filled things for reasons. There's a show called The Program. In all essence, it is the Hunger Games. Though, no, okay, never mind. I'm trying to piece together. It's still in my head, and I was like, there's one part I was confused. I'm like, no, that takes place in the past, so obviously. But pretty much we start out with two young kids. One, Yoshitoki, I think is how his name's pronounced. And Shuyu, I don't know. There's a lot of very, very Japanese names I'm not going to pronounce worth a single shit at all. Shuya, sorry. It's like got two U's in there and they're just right next to each other. But they start out in there watching some violent cartoon, I don't know exactly. And they end up getting interrupted because they get to see one of the winners of the program. Though it isn't helped by the fact this comic's in black and white. But it looks like the girl has had like part of her face just torn off and she's just laughing or something. I don't know. She's gone mad. And they're like, oh, stuff about like kids and being shown to his violence, and it's all revolving around the fact that their caretaker is a lady. Her name is Ryoko or something like that. Just to let you know, she serves no real purpose except for shock. And right there is a major difference between Hunger Games and this. Most of these characters, mind you, they are pretty much a classic. It's kidnapped and they won the lottery, even though they just got kidnapped and all this. And there's 42 on a bus. It's like, dear God, somebody sitting on a lap? It's just a really long ass bus. 42, 43, somewhere around there. I think it's 43 actually. I'm not including driver, obviously. Well, they get kidnapped and they're now going to be on the program, and they're all shocked and surprised by this because like, oh, this, all this stuff that happens. And if it seems like I'm so confused, it's more just because I'm wanting to talk about the stuff where I begin to have my problems with it. Let me first get into the world building, or lack thereof. All we know is that this is pretty much a dictatorship. We don't know what has happened to make Japan a dictatorship or anything. Just that they're in a dictatorship. We don't even know to the extreme fathoms of this dictatorship. We just know it's a dictatorship. That's an issue in and of itself. Part of what made the Hunger Games work is that we understood, it's like, alright, there was a fight that happened between all these different districts against the capital. The capital ended up winning. That is explained very early on in the actual first Hunger Games book. And it sets it up that it's like, we don't know how everything fell apart, we just know it did. So right there, okay, cool. So, the world has pretty much the apocalypse happened. This is the survivors. This is all that's left of them. And they tried to fight against this uber rich, powerful group, the capital, but the capital overcame them just through pure brute strength. And it sets up why the Hunger Games are happening. That's an issue already right there. Like, the reasoning for the Hunger Games at least happening, it's psychotic, but I wouldn't have been surprised because they really didn't go into the first Hunger Game actually and explains like who won it. But I wouldn't be surprised if like it was like District 7 or District 8, one of the poorer districts, or maybe even it wasn't even District 12 because they only had one for Katniss and Peeta. Sorry if I'm ruining a really old book. Not even really old, but nearly 10-year-old book now. But before Katniss Peeta Haymitch was the only one from District 12 that had won. But, like, let's say somebody from District 8, District 7, somewhere around there. They won, and it's like, alright, now they're, giving all these gifts. Maybe their district even, like, oh, they get all this attention. Even though that doesn't always sound like the best of ideas, they've already been shown by the Capitol. It's like, hey, the Capitol will beat the ever-living piss out of you. They've already shown that there's a reason why you have to kowtow to them. And that's the reason why Katniss and Peeta's pretty much rebellion helped to spark back that fire with them. I mean, it's actually a very straightforward story that really makes sense why things happened the way they are and why there was such a long period of forced peace. Battle Royale, meanwhile, we simply have a forced peace, or have something, a dictatorship that took hold, and people watch this lottery happen, and they just are okay with it. We don't see anybody but Ryoko, Shuya, and Yoshitoki, however you pronounce his name. Yoshi is pretty much just short. And it's like, oh, cool. The name after dinosaur everybody always discarded. But we get to see their reactions to one of the Battle Royale's ending, one of the program endings. Beyond that, we know nothing else about how people feel about it. That creates a problem because we don't know. It's like, all right, well, do people like this? Do they care for it? Is this something that people are against? I mean, who decided this? Just the dictatorship society? What the hell? Maybe explains later on, but very early on in Hunger Games, they had already broken down. It's like, here's the reason why this is happening. Here's the reason why people can't put up with it, because they don't think there's any hope. Alright, that's fine. Makes perfect sense. But yeah, Yoshi and Shuya, who Shuya I'm guessing is our main character that we're kind of following. Mind you, there is 43 cannon fodder, or 42 things of cannon fodder nonsense, it feels like. Maybe you're going to have a couple arch rivals against Shuya, and eventually this one girl, her name is Noritoki, I think. Something like that. He has a bit of a crush on. So, like, that's a thing. First off, that is one of the parts that Hunger Game gets. Like, at most you have 24. And very quickly they get pared down. Also, we don't get, like, too much into people who, let's just be honest, don't have much purpose in the entire story. This really wants us to look into these other characters to, I guess, care about them, see how ruthless they are before they get put in this, or stuff like that. I get what the story's trying to do. I will say that much. I don't think the writer did. I don't think he understood that he's trying to pretty much make a parody of how, oh, well, we're just so much into violence. Oh, look, they would let this in. Here's the difference, dude. Let me just tell you this much. And here's the reason why I don't like this as much. Where one is, you know, it's pretty much forced upon people, but, I mean, they had it browbeat into them. This one it just is. And people do already, and mind you, the program technically doesn't start till about 2/3 of the way through the book. That's a problem. Because you already begin to see people do monumentally stupid things. Also, I'm just going to throw it out there, and I'm going to also touch upon one other thing. Yeah, this guy right here. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the ideas with how the people from Capital look very fake to Katniss, and how, you know, they obviously have a lot of plastic surgery and stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if Suzanne Collins did read Battle Royale and threw that in there because of him. Because, oh my god, every time he's in the book, like, he's supposed to be this uber, like, I'm the person that's going to teach you to be in the program and stuff. He does monstrously evil things. But it's just that. He's just evil. We don't know why he's evil. He's just evil. I'm just going to go ahead and break it down to you. Eventually, you see when they get all kidnapped, Yoshi sees that, or they throw this body in the middle of it, and they're like, ha, look, we can do anything because we're evils. Never mind who knows how we came to power. That's never explained. But we're evils, so we killed Yoshi and Shuya's, like, father that raised them, their adoptive father, and we raped their mother. This is shown. This isn't even like when this is mature, this is shown. And it's just as tasteless as anything else that frickin' Japan is seemingly put out to show sex. I don't get Japan and their weird rape fetishes. I don't even want to say it like I'm trying to, like, oh, that's all Japan. But it's just a mass majority of any hentai. Most popular stuff that comes from Japan is rape-based in terms of sexual stuff. Very little of it is choice. And it's it's like, oh, okay, cool, that's there. And I mean, it's just a big freaking splash page. And you get this guy who has this really awkward looking face. And that's another issue I gotta say. It's like, I know some people are like, oh, I really like this art. I would, but everything's like in these deep, dark, freaking shadows. I mean, just everything is just, look at it, it's just shadows and cross hatches and crap like crazy. I mean, look at all this. It's all freaking dark and overwrought with so much stuff. It's to the point where it's like, alright, you can step back and quit putting so much freaking detail on every little thing. It's not even like an overt amount of detail. We just say it's just too much freaking color if it's not actually in color. So because of, there's too much stuff that feels like it's constantly just blending together into the same mush of crap. But yeah, you get to see this just graphic showing of Ryoko being raped, and I guess she gets killed. I don't know. The father figure for Shuya and Yoshi, he had his head, and I mean, it's disgusting in how like graphically detailed it is. Like he had his eye partially blown out. And Yoshi, of course, he snaps. And that's when we learn this one thing that makes this... It's like, okay, well, we were feeling very sorry for Yoshi and Shuya. And you made me lose interest in one of them. Thankfully, I'll say he dies real quickly, and it's Yoshi. And the fact that you learn that Yoshi had a crush on Ryoko, his adopted mother. Ew. I don't care if it's blood relation. That's so fucking weird. It's so... Ugh. It's like, well, you made that character uncomfortably creepy. But he decides, he's like, I gotta fight you. Oh, darn, you have a gun. He pulls out a revolver that has infinite bullets. Because they put in a code, I guess. And that's the other thing. I don't know this guy. I'm pretty sure he said his name, but it's probably something like, I'm Evil Man. Let's just call him that. Evil over cross-hatched man. That sounds like a good name for him. Evil over cross-hatched man shoots Yoshi in the face. Now, mind you, unlike most places where it would just show it, and like I had to specify with Overlord, the reason why I said when it showed people getting stabbed and killed, it was at least tasteful in it. This is tasteless in how it's done because it's overtly violent. And I know it's like a gunshot wound's not a great thing, but like when he gets shot, you see just everything. It's overtly detailed to the point where it's like, okay, that's not exactly how the human body works. When you shoot a person with a revolver in the mouth, pretty much, they don't just become a freaking balloon that got shredded by a pit bull. This doesn't kill him. One girl tries to go save him. He shoots her in the leg, and then Shuya tries to do something. I'm gonna shoot you too. Evil cross-hatched man saying, and even though it's like he's... Oh god, it's so stupid already, and this is right whenever the program starts. And then some guy gets up like, well, you're not gonna keep killing us, man. I'm not gonna keep killing you. He kills a girl literally the next page just because she's talking. And it's like, he's just evil for evil's sake. Especially like later on, some girl has a cell phone and she decides to try and call her parents, and this guy, he intercepted the call. He's like, give me something to masturbate to because I haven't raped anybody recently. And just violence and violence sake is pretty much what it is. When he decides to kill Yoshi, because when he shot him in the face, it didn't actually kill him, just shot him in the mouth. And again, think like a pit bull grabbing a balloon and just tearing it in pieces. Again, it's overtly violent. It's like, I want to let you know, unless you're using hollow points, which you're not going to usually use with a revolver, when you shoot somebody, well, also, even when you shoot somebody, it's not, it's going to sound gross to describe it this way, but if you shoot somebody in the head, where you're going to have the, splattering effect is going to be in the back part of their head. But instead, like, his whole head just explodes. Like, he shot him with a freaking grenade launcher at point blank range. Mind you, he has I'm pretty sure it's a 6-barrel revolver. It's like, alright, he has 3 bullets left, boys and girls. And he's used 3 of those. It's like, y'all could probably charge him and y'all could kill him no problem. It wouldn't be that difficult. Never mind, these characters are stupid. We learn very, very early on. Because there's this one big guy who got picked on because he's a big teddy bear in all essence. But because of the fear of what they have said, because if you don't kill anybody within 24 hours, or nobody dies within 24 hours, they will detonate everybody's, like, collar they have. Because that will totally make people want to believe in the lottery more if you just off everybody simply cuz. That's a fucking pothole. It's like, so you institute something that doesn't seem to be popular. Nobody really seems to like, except for the uber rich who are able to get their kids out of it. But you say you're going to do something that would make them angry. What? Again, the world building, there's not a reasoning for it. Hell, even with at least Hunger Games, like, the only reason they kind of want to speed things up is to keep people tuned in. They treat it very much like a program. This is just murder for murder's sake. And that defeats the purpose of it. And I'm going to get into a little bit more here in a bit beyond my own little snarky comments. But yeah, there is this one big guy who he gave in to the fears. It's so stupid that he just suddenly decides to kill a girl. And he's like, they're going to laugh at me. They're going to kill me first because What? What? Hold up. You don't know how basic character development works. How basic psychiatry works, psychology, anything. Just the. Why would you jump to that stupid of a conclusion? Be like, well, because of things, he'll totally do the things. Yeah. I don't get it. And then we also get to see, there's the one girl who I talked about briefly. She tried to call with a cell phone. She falls for a girl who's very obviously just trying to trick her because she has a scythe and she just like somehow, like, she stabs the girl in the back of the neck, and it's overt again, like everything, and cuts like almost her entire head off. And it's like, okay, well, first off, for her to be able to pierce that deeply, first off, how's she able to, it's like, ugh. And where was she hiding it? Up her ass? But yeah, and it's like the girl that briefly was shown, like, earlier, like, tempting some, like, dude with her panties. Never mind, she's obviously supposed to be a fucking teenager. Gross. I get what the writer was trying to do. And I want them to realize they failed miserably. Like I kind of spoke about very briefly early, whenever I was talking about this. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be condemning our uber violent ways. Maybe even more condemning Japanese, going towards more violent animes or more violent mangas or anything like that, speaking out against it in all essence. By, showing just pretty much it in its most extreme form. And it's like, well, this is what's going to happen, and we're just going to make a parody almost of it. But I think they didn't realize that there's a point where you lose sight of your own message. You get lost in your own hedonism or anything like that. Because you decided to make something uber violent without understanding why you're making fun of the uber violent. I mean, if you want to speak down about that, speak down about it. But it revels in it. It enjoys its uber violentness. It takes great pleasure in it. And it's simply for the sake of telling a story that has been told before. That this type of story, that hey, uber violence not a good thing, just killing for killing's sake shouldn't be good. Anything like that, it has been done before. And talking down about, how much we're a violent society, but reveling in your own violence and your unnecessarily violent tendencies, you're part of your own problem. I mean, you're just saying, ha, I'm no better than y'all. Wait. It's not that I'm against anything uber violent, just be fine with it, Understands, like, yeah, I am violent, but that's what it is. Don't sit there and try and make something that's trying to be a parody of it, but it misses its fucking mark. So, yeah, I don't like Battle Royale. This is going to be it for me. I know some people may say, oh, well, it gets better or anything. First of all, I don't like the art. As I keep saying, just ultra cross-hatched, ultra shadowed, ultra shaded, everything. It's so oversaturated to the point where it's like, I can't even look at anything without my eyes hurting. It's like, alright, that's a bit much of stuff. And I don't like the writing. The writing's not super smart. The characters all do stupid stuff for stupid reasons. And hell, we have the evil cross-hatched man who he's just evil for evil's sake. And again, the art on him is terrible. He just looks like a blocky robot. And why is he evil? Because he's evil. It's a lot of, it's just because it is. And that's like, okay, again, that's the reason why I know that that's the idea. It's like, it's to make fun of, ultra violent shit. But if you're taking part in it and you're even just, diving deeper than even they go and you're not condemning it in any fashion, you are not helping. You're being part of the problem. If that was your idea. So yeah, Battle Royale. No. Yeah, so that was a downer, and I had to talk about it. But hey, I have more for y'all soon, and it's gonna be a massive shift to the left of everything. So I'll be back here in just a couple minutes. So see you in a minute, babe, folks.